Good afternoon, my potato chips. It's wee Paddy from across the shock, and you're very welcome back to the channel. This is the first of two mega unboxings. And mega unboxings mean these ones are two expensive knives for my channel that's bought with the money from my channel. Well, these are from my channel subs, and I'll talk about that. This one is mine. I traded one of my other high-end knives because that's what I have to do. I can't afford to have a lot of high-end knives and keep my channel going. So, but I just wanted to let people see I do get these every now and then. Not all the time, but I've had a lot of questions, when I'm reviewing Ben's knives, especially Ben's, I'm getting quite a few of them. Like a lot of us, he's very, very generous and sends them out to us. But I just want you to know, when I'm reviewing them, I do know what they're like. I do know how to just fall in love with a knife that's more expensive than normal and really appreciate the knife for what it is, like Ben's knives. But this one I wanted to get and keep as a comparison. They're not exactly the same, but I'm comparing Pena with Ben, and it's a pretty fair comparison, let me tell you. But I didn't want the comparison to be just all right. I wanted a good one. So that's why this Russian knife is a Cheburkov, something I'd never thought about buying before. It came up for sale, and it was in the same week that my subs, on a Sunday Knife live chat, went mad on the super chats, and I got a lot of money. So I didn't want to waste that money. I always put my money back into the channel, but I wanted to dispel another myth that I don't like modern titanium knives, because I do. I just don't want a whole lot of them. But for my channel. So these are two knives that are mega for me. They're absolutely fantastic, and they will be collection pieces for a long while for comparison. They're both beautiful. The first one I'm going to talk about is this one, the Cheburkov, a Russian knife maker who sells small batch knives, a lot of them through Lamnia in Europe. It's a shop in Europe. A lot of Americans use the shop because their postage is fantastic to the States. They usually get them there in 2 days. But there's none available at the minute that I can find. This one, this model here, came out in 2018, I believe. Again, small batch. So you'll be looking on the secondary market to buy these. Now, I could apologise for that, but I'm not, because it's flipping gorgeous and it's mine. Thanks to my subs. So thank you for letting me reinvest your support into the channel. So let's get it opened and see. Enough of the old waffle. What am I, 2 minutes in and you haven't seen a knife? I'm nearly 3 minutes. I'll hold this up for you in case you want to practice your Russian, because it's all in Russian. It's a little card, all in Russian. That's a plastic card. Lovely little thing to have. And then we have this beauty in the inside. And I'm going to put that away and up out of my way so that I don't start bashing this. Look at that. Is that not just beautiful? Is it? Come on. It is beautiful. This is the bronze titanium, and it's quite a light bronze. It nearly comes across grey, but it is bronze because you can see the grey of the blade. This, to me, is just sleek, slim, the perfect size for an EDC knife, a full EDC knife. There we are. In the closed position, it's about 4 1/4, just over 4 1/4, and listen to this now. Thumb studs, which are so comfortable, great to use. Look at that blade. Now, I don't know how to describe this blade. I think it must be the lightest stonewash. It feels like silk. It genuinely feels like silk, but it's cloudy and it's a beautiful thing. It is. It's very plain. This whole knife is very plain, but oh my God, is it beautiful. Opened and full length, you have a 3 1/4 inch blade with a 3 1/4, just under 3 1/4 cutting edge. As you can see, the end of this to here is not very much at all. The whole knife overall is 7.5 inches. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for an EDC knife. Now, in the hand, perfect. If you can see this grip, it's nearly, you've got an end stop here to stop you sliding off, a stop here to stop you sliding forward in the handle, and a belly to round it out and give you a nice feeling. In my hand, My hand fits, I have a large hand. It fits perfectly in the middle of these two. There's not much left over, so if you have an extra large hand, maybe not the knife for you, but large and below, absolutely stunning. Jimping here, very authoritative jimping, but it doesn't stick into you and cut you. My finger, look at my finger going white. I'm pushing down that, it won't slide. Now, to be honest, I would have liked the jimping to go up here, because sometimes you want to be up there. So I might have liked it to be a little bit forward, but here is the perfect for any hard work. There is no hot spots in this knife that I can feel with my hand. None. Let's talk about the blade. M390. Perfect blade. Fairly thin behind the edge. I'll go through the measurements when I do my full review, but it's fairly thin, absolutely perfectly thin. The blade stock is not that thick. What's that, about 2.5, maybe 3 mil at the back here, but beautifully ground, flat ground, nothing really on the blade other than Cheburkov's mark, which is here, and on the other side, a very faint M390, if you can see that up there. It's hard to tell. In the light, it's really hard to get these, to get to see them, which is lovely because it just leaves you looking at that beautiful drop point blade at just over 3 inches, which will do any amount of work that you could put it to. It's a liner lock, which I prefer. I have to be honest with you, it's my preferred lock for a knife like this, because you don't have to worry about where you're putting your fingers on the back lock or anything. It's just lovely. It lines up absolutely. Now, bear in mind, this is a 4-year-old knife. It's hardly come across it on. It's about 40%, which is absolutely perfect. There is a little bit of cutouts there, but there's plenty of room. Look at that. So much room to get through it. And it keeps the line of this belly, which is what I think, that little detail. When you look down this knife, look, it just keeps the line of the belly swell. Absolutely beautiful, yet your cutout is much below that. But the outline of the knife is kept intact. Absolutely beautiful. Very simple nuts and bolts on this little knife. It's only a one-sided thumb stop. Apparently, you can take this off, though. You can unscrew it and move it to the other side if you're left-handed. You can not move that, though. You can't move the pocket clip. This is set in. Beautiful pocket clip. Absolutely, look at that. The clearance is beautiful. Enough ramp to get over jeans or anything. Stunning. The grip is absolutely fantastic. But it's the simple things. Let me just unlock this. It's the simple things. Look at that. Lovely pocket clip with these beautiful lines on them. That is just keeping everything as simple as you possibly can on the modern knife. It really is. I just find it stunning. There is no hot spots that I can find on this clip. When it's held in my hand, I literally don't feel it because it's so nice and flat, rounded over. There's nothing to stick in you. I think that's super because this is a work knife. It's an expensive work knife. Well, I don't think it was over £300 when it was new, but it was somewhere in and around that 250 to 300. I would think. I'm not particularly sure. But the backspacer, again, completely simple. But look, they followed that little detail. It's a small detail, I know that, but it's perfect. It's lovely. The profile down here, it just sets it off, just like that does on the back of the knife. Or the front of the knife. No, back of the knife. Shut up, Paddy. I'm excited. I love this knife. I genuinely love it. And the action on it is, it's just the most simple. You just load it up a tiny wee bit and bang, it goes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Does it drop shut? Not really. If you go hard, it will. But this is what I like. There is a detent on it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I cannot shake this knife out at all. Perfect. Just everything about it. And I thought my Chris Reeve was the most just smooth action when you're clothing. This is very, very close. There's no judder. It just comes down so smoothly. I'm not a flicky out and play person. I just want my knife to work and put it away, and that's it. This does everything that I want in a knife. It is stunning. stunning. So I'm going to give you a couple of comparisons. I'm going to give you another titanium knife. It's my only other full titanium, and it's the ZT0450. This has been anodized. Look at that there. Beautiful anodization done on this knife. Brass highlights on all the pivot and the screws. And there we go. Let me put that down beside it. It is near enough exactly the same size. The difference between this and the 0450 is just more handle. If you can see, there's more grip on the handle. So if I put the end of that up there to the top, you've got, what, 3/4 of an inch extra handle to hold on to. This I can't hold on to, and I'll have to put my finger at the bottom here, but I can't really sneak up. It's too close up there for my finger. But again, I can use this perfectly. It's not uncomfortable at all. Beautiful knife. So that is my two full titanium knives that I have in my collection. But they're beautiful. Both beautiful knives. Flat grind I much prefer than this other grind here, which I can't think of the blooming name of. I am such a muppet. Anyway, you know what it is. It's just a beautiful blade to work with, a beautiful blade shape. The drop point is just so good. You don't have to go too far to get the point down. Beautiful. Lovely knife. So I'm over the moon with that. Really, I can't wait to do the review, do a bit of cut testing with it. I've already done a bit of cut testing, and let me tell you, it's not going to be a bad review. Here's another knife that I'm going to bring out that it's not titanium, but it's a smaller modern knife. There's the little Benchmade 945. Again, a little bit smaller than that, but not by much. Beautiful little knife that. But just to give you, it just gives you a bit of an example of a knife that I forgot how to lock it and unlock it. Some of my other nice knives that I like, knives that are an M390. This one is the Ace Farley, a little smaller again. So them two are more what I would call, smaller work knives, useful knives, but that is a proper EDC. That's a full EDC. Now these will do me for my EDC, but that to me is a full 7.5 inches, 3.25 inches of blade. Absolutely perfect. So there's the first one. Review to come on that. Can you tell I'm excited? The next one, I'm even more excited about. The Pena X series. There's been a huge amount of talk about this Pena X series. Let me see. There you go. This is the Apache, and it's in marble carbon fibre. And the Apache has been the one, I've looked at these for so long now. Ever since they came out, I've wanted one. I got the chance to do a trade to get this one for that specific purpose. Just to let people know, this is how I get high-end knives in my knife. I can save, I can put money away, I can use money that subs give me to put towards it. Everything is sort of, my channel is run on a budget that maybe a lot of others aren't, but I've been doing this for 5 years, so I have built up this collection of beautiful knives and budget and medium price because I genuinely like them all. But let's get into this. You want to see this. This is the Apache. Oh, I just love this. Lovely box. I get the big Pena cloth, which is obligatory now, and they're absolutely fantastic. And look at this. How lovely is this? And you're going to see straight away why I chose this to use as a comparison for, the higher end, Ben's higher end knives, because they're in the similar sort of price bracket, depending on what you're getting, obviously, on the materials. But is that not just beautiful? Now, this is a slip joint. Ben's knife, which here's one of them. This is an interpretation of a traditional knife slip joint. This one isn't a traditional shape. This is just a slip joint. This is an interpretation of a traditional slip joint, but it's modern. It's a modern slip joint, but taking the old looks and the old shapes that the traditional knives would have took. This is just a modern slip joint. Fantastic, nonetheless, I'll have to say. Now, look at this. Listen to this. Oh, these are made by Riyadh. We don't know where Ben's are made, but these are made by Riyadh, the highest end OEM, probably about at the minute. They're making some of the best production knives. Well, they are the best production knives out there. This is beautiful, but this is what I like about this knife, is this blade shape. Oh, it is just amazing. Again, one of my favourite blade shapes is this. But when I put that down, oh, how beautiful are them two blade shapes. Different but beautiful. I love this. This is again M390, which seems to be the staple for most high-end knives, whether they're traditional slip joints or whatever. M390 is the one that people want. It's screwed construction, so again, it's modern. You've got a pivot. You can take this knife apart. These are covers here that you can take off. It's marbled carbon fibre, which is beautiful. I'll have to say it's beautiful. If I was to pick anything, this dark matter carbon fibre with the red in it is definitely more appealing to my eye. Let me get you a bit. There's red all through it here. Little bits of red. I like this better than just the plain marble. But I love the plain marble. Don't get me wrong. Beautifully done with like a faux bolster. These are just inlays put in to give that separation, which I think they've done fantastically. I think it is genius that how well they've done that, because it does give that type of throwback where it was bolster and then a handle or a cover, whichever you want to call it. The back spring, absolutely immaculate. Much like Ben's knives, this one is immaculate. Beautiful termination, beautifully done on the inside. No blade wrap whatsoever, but a good strong closure. Nail nick, absolutely pretty. You don't need it, to be honest with you. There's a little swedge here, and then it goes into oh, for God's sake. I am the worst knife reviewer. It's a hollow grind, so when you put your finger, you can pinch it open. I make myself giggle. Do you know that? That's not normal. So you pull, and I don't need to use a nail nick, but I can, and it's perfectly serviceable. It's not a nail breaker, but just the sound of that is nearly very similar between his and Ben's. And that's why I got this, so that I could do, so I could do reviews of this. Some of my other knives, apart from Ben's. Oh, by the way, there's two of the natural of these left on Framar knives. I'll put them down below. And there's one in the OD green. The two natural ones, don't forget, if natural's not your colour that you want on these knives, this knife, the knife I had before, was natural, and I dyed it red. I put racing red on it, and it came out beautifully, like a maroony type colour. It's beautiful. So don't let the colour of natural put you off. You can dye the scales, 2 screws, that comes off. It's little thin scales, throw them in the pan, dye them. Absolutely simple. If you need any advice, give me a shout, and I'll let you know. But, so we'll set that down there. These knives are nearly perfect in size. To me, this fat spear just outdoes most things. Look at that fat spear. It shows you when you've got another knife beside it just how gorgeous it is. I love this. My favourite so far by far. But this is another favourite because I love that. This is a sort of one that I think Lefty would like. Just a beautiful. If you haven't gone to his channel, go and check Lefty EDC out. He's a tit. He's an absolute tit, bourgeois tit. But I love watching him. So I'll put his channel down below as well. Here's another one that is just one of my, I keep saying one of my favourites, but they are. This is the Mustang from GEC. And as you can see, very similar in size, maybe a fraction longer in the handle and maybe a fraction in the blade, but very little in it. But a beautiful knife with a drop point, Let me see something else. I'm trying to give you just size comparison so you can see what this Pena is. Here's an Ashley Harrison. Look at that. A little bit bigger, but a beautiful knife nonetheless from Ashley Harrison. Again, one of my little favourites. This is the Boker club knife, which will be more in its size. Yeah, exactly, nearly the same. The Boker club knife, just the most underrated knife out there. It's expensive. It's over the £100 for this club knife, but it is a beautifully made knife. Stunning, but a good comparison for that in the modern sort of knives. That's about it. I think you've seen enough. This has been just a review of two beautiful new knives to my collection. Will not be going anywhere soon. I love them. This is filling in for a Sebenza for me, and by gosh, so far it's not filling in. It's not taking a hard job to fill in. This is beautifully made, very beautiful made. This stunning, stunning, and I am so glad that I now have a knife. Oh, I put that away. That I can put beside Ben's when I want to make a comparison, because I think they're very close in their fit and finish, their design. I'm more of the design language of Ben because I like the traditional shapes, but this is a usable knife. Fantastic. So, don't forget Frame Arvia if you want. There's only 3 left. Once they're gone, they're gone. So, take care, my friends. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to do the full... That was 20 minutes. How does it go so long? Look, 2 beautiful knives. I'm so happy. I hope you'll be looking forward to the reviews. They'll be coming not too long away. Take care now, folks. Bye.